Good evening, everybody, and a Merry Christmas. Hopefully, everybody had a good Christmas yesterday. Good evening. My name is Sarah Edwards. Welcome to your Tuesday evening Facebook Live. Sorry about that. I totally kind of lost track. I was trying to put all of my dies on the magnet before I went live, and I was trying to rush. So I realized it was 7:01, and I was like, oh, I'm a little late. So I'm a little discombobulated. But good evening, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully, everybody had a great Christmas. We did. We don't celebrate our Christmas until Christmas evening. We let the kids run around, do whatever they need to do, and then they come over to the house. We have dinner, and Antonio brought a bottle of wine. So I had a couple glasses of wine, which is not like me. I usually don't drink. And I decided to splurge. So it was very nice, relaxing, and a quiet evening. So hopefully, you guys had a nice, relaxing, and quiet day. So, while I was working in the craft room today, I actually started by cleaning my table because I needed a clean, pretty surface. And I have gotten so much accomplished today. It is a hot mess, but it's okay because I got things accomplished. If you would see many of you guys have seen my craft room a mess, but yeah, it's definitely a hot mess. And if you haven't noticed, I chopped all of my hair off. I took 11 inches off last Friday. I've been saying I was going to do it for a long time, and I don't think anybody really believed that I was going to do it, and I finally did it. So it's very fun. It's very different. I just watched it for the first time, I think Sunday or Monday or something, and literally it was quite the shock to just wash a little bit of hair versus a ton of hair. So thanks, Heather. Good evening, Heather. Welcome. So today's project, as I was prepping for retreat, I texted my upline Heather. I was like, "What should I do for today's Facebook Live?" So she suggested celebration sets, and I was like, "Oh, okay, let's do some celebration stamp sets." So what I picked is free with orders. So it's you get the stamp set free with a $50 order, and you get the dies free with a $100 order. And it is so fun, but I do recommend if this is on your list, get it early because none of us know how long it's going to last. And it is so cute that I definitely think it's going to go quick. So without further ado, let's point you over and we will get crafting. So I'm just going to make sure we're live on Facebook, which, oh, that's not the color shirt that I'm wearing tonight. There it is. So this is the celebration catalog and the mini catalog for spring. Everybody should have gotten theirs in the mail. I have not gotten any returned to me, so I'm assuming everybody has gotten them or will be getting them in the next day or two. We're not allowed to open the catalog to show you the inside, but I can at least give you a little teaser of what they look like. If you have already gotten it and have flipped through and marked your pages of all the yummy things that you have to have, then you'll obviously know what set we're going to be playing with tonight. So there is the catalog. Here is the set. It is Jungle Pals, definitely out of my comfort zone. I usually don't venture towards these sets, but it is so fun. I love the little sloth and the little toucan, if that's what he is, and the little alligator or crocodile. I don't know whichever one he is, but I love him. Literally so stinking cute. And these are the dies I was trying to quickly put together on my magnet sheet before I went live. And it's a massive set. Like I was not expecting it to be so big. So now I should have taken a picture of the way the dies were positioned on here before I ripped everything off. And that would have helped me get it back to having everything on one sheet. Actually, that might work. I don't know. I'll sit and play with it. But it is definitely, this is fun. This is my first time playing with this set, and I'm in love. I couldn't stop making cards. So we used the little alligator or crocodile. I know the difference, but I don't know the difference right now during a Facebook Live. We have the little tiger, and we are doing the little toucan. So these are the three dies that we are using. I've already made a couple of them, but I'm going to wait and show you those at the end. So we're going to do the alligator first. They are so cute. I'm just going to throw them on there and then I'll deal with it later. And there is no sentiments in the stamp set. So I brought in the circle sayings and I'm doing sending you a, and then I pulled in the happy birthday. So those are the two image or stamp set or the two sentiments that I pulled in from circle sayings. And then I wanted something in the back. I just didn't want it plain or I didn't want it embossed. So I brought in rays of light. And I've actually used the rays of light quite a bit. So we are going to bring in my scratch paper, even though using the mat that's free when you join starting next Friday. I just thought it would be easier just to use a piece of paper for the lives, but you can just stamp on here and then wipe it off. But I just brought in a piece of scratch paper. So I'm going to take my basic white. This is 4 by 5 1/4. And if you noticed, I didn't show you guys the cards we're going to be making. I know I did that purposely. I'm so sorry. So I have my basic white 4 by 5 1/4, and I have my ray of light. I was going to say ray of sunshine, but I have my ray of light, and I have the granny apple green. So I'm going to ink this up. If you have the Stamparatus, pull it out and use it. It is the best thing since sliced bread. But unfortunately, they had to discontinue it. So I am going old school with a block. And it is a massive block. So I am just going to lay this on my 4 by 5 1/4 inch sheet. And I'm going to put lots of pressure. I want to make sure it is going to get all of the image on my paper. And with the Stamparatus, you can stamp it a million times and it'll be in the same spot. When you're using a block with a large image, that one that you can't see through, you really can't go back over it. It's a little too difficult. So I am just going to make sure that is nice and firm, and that actually looks pretty good. A lot of people will ink up their image, lay it flat, and then lay their paper on it and then push. You can do that as well. It kind of just depends on whatever you're most comfortable with. I am okay with doing it this way, so that's just the way that I showed you guys. So here is our ray of light in Granny Apple Green. So gorgeous. Hopefully you guys can see the beautiful colors. I have my little crocodile or alligator, and I'm going to color him in light granny apple green and then dark granny apple green. So I'm going to bring over my chair. So sorry if you heard the wheels, just so I can be a little bit closer to what I'm coloring. So I'm going to pull in my sample just to make sure I'm coloring him right. All the other ones that I've done are already colored, just ready to put together. But I just want to kind of show how easy these guys are to color in. And they are fun. So one of the projects I was working on today is my middle daughter's baby shower invitations. I know, crazy, right? So if you got the catalogs in the mail, you will have gotten my calendar for 2024. I was going to say 2014. You will have gotten my calendar for 2024. And you probably will have noticed there is only one weekend for the spring retreats. Usually the spring retreat is in April, but my daughter is due April 4th. So I had to move it up to March, and then Easter kind of fell in the way. So we were only able to do the spring retreat for one weekend this spring. So I'm just finishing coloring this in. And I haven't been able to look. There we go. I can look. Good evening, Valerie. I was just going to see who else is logged on. If you're just logging on, say hi so I know you're here. I'm going to come in with the dark granny apple green, and I am going to do the tip of his back, his little spikes. And then I want to go in and I want to take some of the dark granny apple green and just kind of accent the pieces that are already in the image. So this just gives it a little bit of depth. Good evening, Pam. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Do his little nose holes. Come down here and do his little feet. And maybe do a little bit around his little jawline. So there we go. He is done being colored. It goes together pretty quickly. And I have my basic whites, which is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4.25. And of course, I knew I was completely ready, had everything I needed, and I just realized that I forgot my black, but it is right here. So I just had to run into my craft room really quick. I will keep talking to you so you know I am still here. Okay, I'm walking back in. I knew I was going to forget something, and I was all prepped and prepared. Okay, so we have a piece of our basic black, and this measures 1.25 by 4 inch. And we have a piece of granny apple green that measures 1 by 4 inches. So I'm going to layer these two together. Good evening, Monique. So I'm going to put some Tombow on here. Yes, Pam, the glass mat is perfection. So I'm going to layer those two pieces together. And now what I want to do is usually we put glue on this entire thing, but I only want to put glue down the center. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to cover up this little moon or sun. I guess it's the light. I don't know what that little circle is, but I want to cover it up. And I only put a strip in the center. So now we can attach this to our card and we will work on our sentiments. I know, do you guys like that I didn't show you the card we're going to be making first and just make it together? It's kind of scary, but trust me, you guys are going to love it. And I'm using a set from the Sale-A-Bration. So I'm going to glue that down. Okay, I'm going to set that aside and I'm going to bring in a piece of scratch paper, and this is our basic whites. And I want to also bring in my two sentiments. So I have sending you A. So we're going to grab our memento ink. I'm going to ink this up, and I am going to stamp it. I probably should have punched it first, just to make sure I have it. Oh, not bad. That actually worked out okay. So I'm going to scooch this down just so it's right up at the edge. Perfect. And this is the 2 3/8 inch circle punch. And then I'm going to come in and I am going to do happy birthday. And I'm going to do this right close to the bottom. There we go. Let's put the lid on the ink so I don't put my finger in it. Good evening, Darlene. And now I'm going to take my paper snips and I'm going to chop this in half. There we go. Let's bring our card base back in, and I want to put adhesive on the back of this one, and I'm going to tuck it in under this piece. I don't know what it's called. There we go. That's why I only put a smidgen of glue in the center, because I knew I was going to tuck these up underneath. I'm going to do the same thing. You just might have to get your fingernail under there just to lift it up a smidgen. And this one, I'm going to go as far up as I can. I want most of that happy right up underneath. And you can just eyeball to make sure it's even. That looks fairly even to me. There we go. Now let's grab our little alligator or crocodile. I don't know what he is, but he's so cute. It doesn't matter what he is, he's cute. Put some dimensionals on. And I'm going to put him right in the center. I don't know why he makes me smile. He makes me laugh. I love it. Okay, take your pick tool, and I want to put a gem on each side. There we go. Look how stinking cute he is. He literally just makes me so happy. So here's the original one that I did. I scooted this guy over a little bit towards the left and put 3 little gems on. And I put this one more in the center. So you can really do it however you want. Thank you, Darlene. Let's do another one. All of this stuff, besides this stamping of the image or of the sentiment, so I'll have to do that really quick. But I've already cut and colored everything. So all we have to do is glue them together. And I do want to show you the little mistake I made, and I'm going to go with it. I honestly don't think anybody's going to know that I made a mistake, and I don't want you guys stressed out over it either. So I was like, this is perfect. Sorry, I couldn't find my bone folder. So here's that. So I don't know if you can point it out, but right up here at the very top, my stamp didn't go all the way up. But you know what? I'm still going to use it. Nobody's ever going to know, and it's going to be against the basic white. So it's perfect. And this time I am putting the sun up towards the top right. So depending on how you want your image laid out is which way the sun is going to go on your paper. So this one I'm going to do a little bit farther up versus down towards the bottom. Let's bring in our scratch paper. I can actually probably just go ahead. We have one more to put together, and you have to stick with me till the end because I think maybe the last one might be my favorite. I don't know. I haven't quite decided if it's my favorite. So you guys will have to help me. Oh, I knew I was going to do that. Dang, Skippy. It's just paper, right? Let's see if I can fix it. If not, it's just paper. Holy smokes, I did that. Haha, I was not expecting that to work. I'm going to come in, cut this out, punch it out. And I'm just trying to get it up to the tippy top of my punch. There we go. Let me find the happy birthday. Stamp that all the way to the bottom. Oh, man. I bet I'm not going to be able to do this twice. I'm going to pull it a little bit closer to me to see if I can get it. Actually, I did. That will never happen again, I swear. Okay, take your paper snips, cut these in half. Sorry, my nose itches. Is anybody else's allergies bothering them today? Oh my goodness. Mine have been crazy all day. Okay, so we're going to glue this down. And this one, I am going to go towards the center. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to go towards the left because he's got a long tail and I don't want him hanging off. Adhesive there. Kind of just get your fingernail up underneath there. And you do have a little bit of wiggle room. So as you can see, I'm doing it sideways just because it's easier for me to get the circle up underneath the layer. But then you can flip it around and still have a wee bit of wiggle room. Let's put some dimensionals. And I did bring in my mini dimensionals for his tail. Oh yeah, I'm glad I did that because his tail would have been hanging off. There we go. Add some gems to this one. And I think I'm going to do some of the smaller gems just because he is a little bit bigger. Hello, Teresa. Welcome. I'm going to do one more right on the ends. There we go. So here's our little tiger or lion or whatever he is. And our last one, I promise. Ugh, see, this one might be my favorite. I have no idea why that toucan is so fun, but I think that's why I got the alligator and the toucan. I think that's why I got this set because they made me laugh and they made me smile. And there's dies. Ugh, that's a huge relief is to have dies. There we go. This one will go super duper quick because everything's cut, colored, and ready to go. And as you can see, I put the sun down towards the left. So that means it's going to be more towards the bottom versus up at the top, like the little lions. So there's that. And this one I'm going to do in the center because the toucan is pretty tiny. So he's not going to hang off the edge. Get him straight. Perfect. Flip it over. Add a large dimensional to his head and a little to his body. He's so cute. Add our gems. And this one, because he's tiny, I'm going to add the larger gems. Well, if they want to cooperate with me. There we go. I think I need to order a new putty. I think that's my problem. There we go. Okay, I will bring all of them in. So here are these two, the little toucans. And this one was Poppy Parade. I colored his nose or his little beak in light Poppy Parade and dark Poppy Parade. This one is Pumpkin Pie, and I colored him in the light and dark Pumpkin Pie, and I just used the Memento black ink for the sentiments. And then this one I did in the Granny Apple Green, and I colored him in the light and the dark Granny Apple Green. So there you go. There are all of your fun cards for this evening. I hope you loved it as much as I did. I loved putting these together, and I honestly cannot wait to make more of these. I think that's what I might put Bo to bed and might come back out and make some more of these because they are so stinking cute. I can't even control myself. So thank you so much for joining me for tonight's live. I will be back Thursday for something fun and different. And I might stick with some of the celebration catalogs because it's so fun. Anyways, if you need anything, please feel free to reach out. If not, I will see everybody on Thursday for another live. Chat with you soon. Bye bye.